Actually, do I have anything in the trunk? Unstable? Why did it say unstable? Fuck. Well, my internet isn't having a good time. Hmm. Yeah, that's Rex. Is the stream's gonna be fucked, right? It's just telling me that it's unstable. I just see like a red line for the bitrate. My Wi-Fi is just having a bad time. It looks fine. Okay. Okay, I'm mainly gonna be doing. Okay, Rex. All right. I mean, I'm mainly gonna be doing stuff in a document. I'm gonna make the league stuff. I just thought I'd go live for it and have some fun with it. Because I'm mainly gonna be doing stuff on the document. Okay, let me get the right music for this. Yes, get some jazz on. I need to come up. We need to come up with a better name than Cross Racing League. Yeah, I've got Quant V. I don't have like the best stuff, but it looks nicer than normal. I thought I'd just do some work down here on the league. This is the Red Line storefront. So we're out front. Hey, let me go to the front. I'll show you, Rex. I'll show you. So this is the storefront. We haven't got stuff in here yet. We don't have stuff in here yet, but this is where people can come in for the store. We'll have hopefully have repair kits, polish and stuff. And then we're gonna have like parking here and stuff like that. So hopefully we get stuff in here soon. And then Back here we got, you know, the little office. And then we got the upstairs to the alleyway. To the back alley. Got some buildings here. And then back here is like, I guess like the secret door that leads to the Red Line speakeasy. It's like it's a nice vibe down here. So we have like meetings down here and stuff. I love it a lot. It's so nice. So we like a little bar, some seating, table for meetings, the Red Line logo. Got a little meeting room in here too. More serious meetings probably for one-on-one convos and stuff like that. And then you got your more like businessy area right here. And of course some whiskey. It is. It's so nice. This place is so nice. So we've had meetings here. We haven't in a little while, but when we've had big meetings, and then we got the two at the front for Goof and Tony. It's such a vibe down here, honestly. Why did you get rid of the thing? Let me put it back. But myself, along with some other people, are planning on running a cross racing league in Spain. So I figured I'd just go live and start working on it, to be honest. Just get like a format going that I think would be good for it, and then take it to like probably go to the Spain server later and take it to like a meeting with Bones and just run him through the ideas I've got and the format that I think will be good. Just run it through with him and then discuss what they've done in the past and what they like doing and sort of meet halfway and come up with a plan. So I'm probably just going to sit back here on like the business chair and open up the document and work on it. Is what I'm thinking. But I thought I'd go live while doing it, because why not? Actually, before I do so, let me get a drink of water. Okay, I'll be back in 1 minute. Alright, I'm back. I have a few ideas for the league. It's just like putting it together and see what works. Because it's gonna be a lot of people. Like, I mean, it could be like 80 people. Okay. Just make sure I'm not leaking anything when I show this. Okay, I think it should be fine. There you go. So you guys should see that. So I think we do this on a document in game, as well as like a leaflet or a flyer, whatever you want to call it. So each crew is going to need to be able to see their own scores. Okay, so basically what I'm thinking is we have a document in game on the phone, which each crew member will have, where they can see their crew, their own individual crew points, and then overall for the whole league. So, and to do Redline as a whole and Vendetta as a whole would be too big. So I think if we do Redline Spain, Redline NA, Vendetta Spain, Vendetta NA would be better, because each crew's got like 20 plus members. So if we name this like, if we do like Redline and then we do, I don't know, let's do Redline NA and then Redline ES, I guess, España. And then if we do Vendetta, and then Vendetta, yes. So they'll each need their own document. They'll basically look the same, where it has a list of their aliases and their individual points per race. So we're gonna need everybody's alias who's taking part. That's a lot. Okay, NA. Okay. Oh my god. And then there would just be one prism. So it'll be seven. So it'll be 7 teams in total. 7 crews teams. So then we'll just want a very basic thing where they can see their own score. So we would just have, if I go from a few in, so we can have like a border. So it'd simply just be name. Oh, actually, so they're gonna want to see their own individual points per week or per race, and then per week. So each team's gonna need going to be able to see everybody's alias and their individual points per race, and then overall for the whole tournament, how many individual points they've got, and then how many points the team has. So then we'll need an overall table where it will just show each crew's points. What theme do I want to do this though? If I'm doing this, I probably want each team. I want like an overall color scheme, I guess, for each table and how it would look. So, if we're doing it in Spain, we could be like, we could do yellows and reds and oranges. Maybe like a bit of like a, not that pink, maybe like a brighter, like pinky color. Or if we're going more like World Racing, World League, or international, I guess. We could be doing like greens and blues and lighter blues to like represent like Earth and the world. So probably go one of these two color schemes, I guess, and just see what works. I feel like this might be too bright. This might be too dank to look at potentially. This might be a bit more subtle if we do like darker greens. Just like more subtle blues. That might look better. I probably wouldn't do it like that, Meister, because the point of going over there is us racing against people from Spain. So if we just split it into like NA versus NA and Spain versus Spain, and then like the best go against each other, I feel like that might sort of ruin the point. Whereas we want it to be like just a mixed thing. I mean, one thing we got to figure out is, I mean, if it's 7 crews, right? You got 7 crews racing. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say 10 members. Say there's at least 10 members from each crew. That's a 70-person race, which is a lot. So, a potential idea I had was you basically just on the day we just count up how many people are there from each crew. It's just usually in Spain the races have plus 20 plus 30. So potential idea I had was say there was at least 10 people from each crew there on the day. Then you say, okay, only 10 people can participate from each crew. So that would still be 70 people. And then you just split it up into 2 races. So you tell 5 people to go to this race and 5 people to go to that race. And then you pick tracks that don't overlap. And you have 2 races going on at the same time. And then you swap and do the other track that you didn't do. And then you could do like 4 races a week or something like that. Because one 70-person race, like you can't even see your car. You don't even know where you're going or like what you're doing. Whereas maybe 30 people per race would be a bit easier. And you just have the track, you just pick tracks that don't overlap. And so whatever track you didn't do, you then just do that as your next track, and you just swap. So let's say 35 people do a Spirit Valley. More than yeah. Well, that's the thing though. There's gonna be so many people there that just getting like, he is live. Yeah. There's gonna be so many people there that just telling 5 people from each crew to race is potentially leaving out like 20 people. So some people might not get to race. Potentially. Whereas if you just split it into 2 races based on the minimum amount of people that show up, you could then only like a couple people would sit out, and then you just put them in for the next race. And if you're doing 4 races, then everybody would get to race like at least 3 races. So everybody might have to sit out 1 race or something. Oh, what did I just do? So I think considering it's like a cross racing league or like a world racing league, maybe we go with this, like Earth colors, like blues and greens, as opposed to like the Spain colors, just because I think this would be too bright. I think that'll be a bit too dank to look at potentially. But it is happening in the Spain server. I could just do one of both and see what I prefer. Neutrals are easier to read. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it is also like a cross world league, I guess. So maybe this would be better, like Earth colors. Because yeah, that's what I could do. Like I can do different tones. That are a bit more subtle to represent like. I mean, not all these colors represent Spain, but when I think of Spain, I just think of like bright and vibrant and summer and those sort of colors. And then you have like more world and Earth. Red line red, Vendetta purple, or something like that. I could for the individual table, but then for the overall table would have to be one color. I could just do like for these individual tables where they see their own. You could have both red lines as the same color and red, and then Vendetta purple. You could have yokai as a darker red and Prism as, I guess, white maybe. No, white would be too hard to do. I probably have to do one color for everything. I mean, I could try both and see what I prefer. So then let's say like, so then in here is going to be like the alias of each member, right? And you could have like 20 people. And then this could be like a week. This could be like a week 1 table, right? And then this is gonna be. This might be race 1. And let's say if you're doing My Day, you probably have 4 races a week. So then they're gonna want to see the individual points per race. In here. And then they're going to want to see the overall, these added up, so then the total for the week. And then say you do 3 weeks, you'd need this table 3 times. Right? Oh. Oh, why is it doing that? You would need this table 3 times for 3 weeks essentially, and then over here they'd want to see the total weeks combined. So like week 1, week 2, week 3, the personal ones, and then the team's totals, and then the team's totals would just go on the overall. You know how many days it will last? No, that's something there's still a lot to discuss. I'm gonna probably go to the Spain server later and speak to Bones in character about it, and try to get the other people there to have like a meeting in character about it. But I just want to get something going, and then something to show them, and then we can alter things and change things depending on what we agree upon. But my basic idea would be like a 3-week league where you do 4 races once a week, and you have 2 races going on at the same time. So you split up people. So say you have 10 members from each crew taking part. You have like 35 people go to one race, 35 people go to another that don't cross. That don't get in each other's way or overlap. And then whatever track you didn't just do, you'd swap. So 35 people might go do a Spirit Valley, and 35 people might stay and do Concrete Corners. And then you just swap after, and then you go do 2 different tracks. That's my like base. That would be my basic idea. And then I did potentially think about, would it be cool to then do playoffs after that? But I personally think that people would get fed up and bored if it went to playoffs, just based on how like stuff's gone in the past on whitelist. I think people would lose interest by that point. Whereas if you just do 3 weeks of a full phasing league where people can just have fun and enjoy and have a good time, then I think that would be better. I think that would be better. So then you'd have to find the aliases of everybody involved from each crew. That's gonna be a pain in the ass to get. And then yeah, it is a lot of brain work to do. So I did a tournament. I did a tournament in the public server before I went to whitelist, where I did a league, and so I just had it on a document in game. So then I do everything like this on a doc, and then I just take a picture of it and put it in the document in game. So at least then it's different. I mean, it's still a link, but instead of them just having access to a Google Doc, they're actually like, it's a document in game that they then look at a picture of to see how they're doing. And then if we're doing stuff with like making leaflets or flyers or something in character as well, then we can put rules and stuff in there. Prize pool, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's still a lot that has to be sorted and worked out. Also, for it to not be like the biggest pain, if you're doing 2 races of say 35 people per race, then I think you just do the top 10 score points. Because otherwise it'd be too much to think about and put in. So I think top 10 get points from a 35 person race, and then you could do like, I mean, if it's a circuit, you could do fastest lap, where You know, say you're having a bad race and you're 20th, you're not going to catch top 10, you got a lap to go. You could go for a fastest lap and get a point for your team or a couple points for your team or something. So at least if you're having like a bad time or a bad race and it's been unlucky, you still have something you could fight for and help your team with. I think wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, let me get rid of these colors and then just like make a table and put the different colors in and see what I like. So we'd want to do make it this thick and black. What font do we want to do? I like this font, but I'm using it for something at the moment, so I don't want to do that again. That's like way too formal. Okay, let's just try that. And then it's bigger. Bold. Let's make it a bit smaller than the like, title name. I just quite like that in italic. And then this can be the same size as that. Right. And this would be a total. Can we center this? So let's say for the points. I mean, let's just start doing colors and see what I prefer. So if we do like okay, no, that is not nice. Okay, if we're doing that, then we do. See, that is, yeah, these colors would be way too. That's way too much to look at. We don't know how many crews will be in the racing league yet. Confirmed is everybody at the bottom here, apart from Vendetta NA, who I need to speak to in character. But I probably want to speak to Flippy about that. Yeah, this is yeah, these like Spain colors are gonna be too much. I think we just do like Earth colors for world, so like your greens and blues and just something that's more subtle. Okay, even that's too much now. I mean, it's already a bit better. That's too dark. I mean, so you basically would need one of these each week. So then you would basically need this. Say it was a 3-week league. You'd need, so this would be week 1. This would be, right. You just put like week 1. That's week 2. That's week 3. This is very rough. I'm just doing a basic thing. So you would need this for each week. The points individual races, the points for the total of the week. And then they'd want to see this for each week if it was like a 3-week league. And then they'd want to be able to see the total points compared to the other crew members across the entirety of the week. And then just the team's overall scores would go in an overall table of the 7 teams per week. So in the overall table, we could either just have 3 total scores per, like, if we're saying 3 weeks, like I've been saying for potentially my format. So you could have like week 1, week 2, week 3, or you'd have the total per team. Like this is like week 1, race 2, race 3, race 4, week 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, week 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. If that makes sense. Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. For the team's individual points, maybe we do just have it be personalized colors for the team, and then the overall team be like earth colors. I think that might be better. But then the trouble is some teams would use white, and then that would just make it look annoying. I mean, this would even be bigger, right? How many is this? Yeah, there's there's a lot of points that needs to be tracked here. We also need to come up with a name, because I don't think Cross Racing League, like, I think we can come up with something better than that. So each member, hang on, let me then show this. So then, like, the idea is basically I'd make a document. So let's just call it cross. I mean, this could let's say this is Redline NA Cross League, right? Okay, so then I would have one of these for each team. So then there'd be Redline Spain, Vendetta NA, Vendetta Spain, and then in here, as well as like potential just like instructions and stuff, it would just be like, it would just say like week 1 table. And then just below here, I would just insert the link of a picture of the table. So instead of people going to a document, like a Google's doc, they would just open the phone, go to documents. So they won't see every team. So if you're in Redline NA, then this is the only link you will have. So then in here, you'll be able to see week 1 table. For example, you would see week 2 table, week 3 table, and then the overall table. So in these individual weeks, they will just see their own points against their own crew members. And then here will be the overall table between all the crews. So it's very simple for them to just be like, oh, what did we score in the last race? Let's have a look. They look at the week 1 table. They look at race 1. Oh, that's how many points so-and-so got or so-and-so got. And then so if you were part of Vendetta Spain, then you would only have a document to a Vendetta Spain document. But I would have all the teams, just so I could put the pictures in there. And it would just be the picture of the table. Yeah, it's a lot, but not at the same time. So then if I did like... Okay, let me do that. And then I would go in here. And I would just do this. So then it's just a link to a photo. So they just go in. They would copy and paste it. Right? And then they would just get a link to this. And they would just see, like if this is the week 1 table, they would see all the people in their crew, how many points they scored each race, and the total for the week. Right? Yeah, I also think it's fine if all the crews see all the teams individual points. It's just that would be like a lot to do. Like if I mean, let's see. I just mean in terms of like actually then being able to see it, if that makes sense, because then like, right? So then they would get a link, essentially. They would get a link to something that would then look like they would get a link to something that basically would look like this, where they would see every crew member's points per race and then total. I feel like that's maybe a lot to look at. Right? And then each one of these would say like red line NA, red line Spain, or ES, I guess, Vendetta NA, Vendetta ES, Yokai NA, Yokai ES, and Prism. I feel like that's a lot to like look at. I don't think there's anything wrong with them being able to look at other crews' points and seeing how each individual member of that crew is doing. That's just like they would see something like this, and that's I feel like this is a lot to look at. I mean, we could do it, but the picture would be pretty small, I guess, right? Whereas instead of seeing something like that, they would just see an overall table that would get updated after each race. So they could see overall how the crew's doing, but not how each member's doing. And like, I don't know if you really need to see that, because if you want to see how a friend's doing, you could just like say, you could just ask like how many points you got, how you doing. Yeah, I just feel like that would potentially be a lot to look at. I mean, I could do that. There'd be no problem in doing that. You could. Actually, let me because I can give an example of how I did a league in the past. Like this was a league I did on public. Um, when I was on the public server before whitelist, I ran a league where I just uploaded pictures. I mean, this is like there was way more rules than this in a document, and then it just had. So you had the driver, you had the total points, letting you know what the playoff cut line is because it did playoffs. These numbers represent the races for the week. So race 1, race 2, race 3, and I just did Formula 1 points. So if they're like highlighted gold, I wouldn't do this, but if they were highlighted gold, then they won, silver second, bronze third, and then these red numbers indicate that they had the fastest lap. So then they saw like this was week 1 and this was overall, and then I took a picture of tracks, and then you had week 2 and overall, week 3 and overall, and then how many top threes they had, how many fastest laps they had, and then I had a playoff bracket. Like I took pictures of the tracks, and then I just made a little brief playoff bracket. So I think taking from this, I think adding points. It doesn't necessarily have to be 1 point. I think adding points for fastest lap is a good idea to have. Just because, like I said, if you're having a rough race, you're having a bad time, you still have something you could go for. Only if it was a circuit track, though. But you know, you'd have something to fight for. And then from this, I'm wondering if it's best in the overall table just to take the weeks like this, or to actually show like race 1, race 2, race 3, race 4, and week 1 in the whole overall thing. I'm wondering which would be best. Why is this so weird now? Okay, there we go. I think 1 point for fastest lap is good. I think that's a nice thing to have. And if you just do, I mean, if you're doing my format, then the top 10 would only get points. So you could just do Formula 1 points. Like, I mean, you could, which is what, 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, 20 races is too small though. Because if you've got 7 crews and you're doing 20 races, I mean, that's 3 races per crew, 21 races. So then you could potentially have like 20 people just sat out, not racing. In an ideal world, you'd want it to be like 20 people, 25 people. But because of the amount of people that are wanting to do it, Um, I think it's just realistic that we're gonna have the big races of like 30, 40 people. Which is why I want to split it into 2 races of 30 to 40 people rather than one race of 80 or, well, 70, 70, 80. Like, it's still going to be a lot, but it's going to be a bit better. It's not going to be as bad. Or in a super ideal world, you'd have 4 races going on at the same time with um like 3 people from each crew. But that would be impossible because there's not tracks that would accommodate for that. You would overlap, so you couldn't do that. It wouldn't work. Whereas 2 tracks you could do, because you could have somebody doing a circuit while somebody's doing a sprint, and then you swap, and then you do a different, and then you do 2 different tracks, and then you do like a different circuit while someone else does a different sprint. I think that's the format I would go for. But I'll need to speak with Bones and see what he wants to do. But we need everybody's alias from each crew. And then I would have to sort this so that it shows like the person with the most amount of points at the top and second and so on. That way it's not like in a random order. So if I was to do this red line theme, let's say, this table, how would I do that? Yeah, I can't use white because it would just blend in. Um, yeah, let me put some colors at the top that I could do for like individual ones. Um, I don't think a playoff. I don't think a playoff would work. Um, like I personally like playoffs and would like to do it. I think it would be. I think that would drag it out too much, and people would lose interest. Personally, compared to just doing a league and having just the top team wins. Um, I just I just don't see people wanting to do a playoff. See, there's not even much colors I could do for red line. I can do black. I can do like different reds. I can't do dark red because that would be yokai, and then I can't do white because it would just blend in with the document. So then the only way I could do like red line colors is if I just made the back of it like black. If I just why is this? Oh, never mind. Like if I was to change the text to white and then do like a black background and then you change this to white. Then you could do like red line colors, because then you can come in and do reds and stuff. That's a lot to look at. No, that's not okay. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. I don't hate that, but it's way too much to look at. I'm just gonna do like earth colors, I think, for everyone, instead of having like individual themed. It's too much. So let's do these in like a, we could change the text to white. Oh no. Okay, that blue doesn't work. You could do neutrals and headers and crew colors. I mean, like the top here being crew colors, and then just this being the same. I could do that. So you have that be green, we just have this be like a blue. And then you just change this to be crew colors. I like that. I like that idea. Because then you could just change this to like a red. I mean, it doesn't really contrast with each other, but you could do it. Trouble is, I can't do a dark red because it's okay. I mean, I could do it like that. Because then I would just do, I mean, that would be the same, and then this. You just change this to like a purple for Vendetta. And then Yokai would be like a darker red. And then Prism. Hang on, let me look at I mean, you could just do multicolors for Prism, so you could do like, whoa, that's a lot. I mean, Prism's really white, but I can't really do that. I know, I could mess with it, but Just like rainbow colors. Gray maybe. Yeah, that's better. Just do like random rainbow. I don't. Probably get rid of the purple because we have Vendetta. I could do a different blue, like that. I feel like there needs to be some sort of red in here. Yeah, you can do Prism with like rainbow colors, and then you have Yokai, Vendetta, and Redline. I can mess around with that, but I like that. Let me get rid of these. Nerd stream. Oh. I don't know if I like this blue. Can I do a different blue? Whoa. No, I probably do have to do that blue. And then I probably would just have, yeah, I think I would just have the numbers in black. And you just center it. We can make this bold. Right. So no, it would basically be like that. Let me bring this all across a couple and down. Just because then I would like to do maybe a border of a color just so this stands out a bit more. That's what I like to do in the past. You just like take a grid like this and make it one. Well, okay, well, yeah. Looking at templates. Just do like a subtle color that makes the thing in the middle stand out more. Okay, I didn't mean to do that bit. Why does that get rid of it? Hello? Oh, I know why. It's because that's how many I dragged. I mean, it's basically, I mean, it's a very subtle thing, but it just makes the thing in the middle just stand out a bit more. But it's because when you take a picture of it, you just take it with like a bit of the green background in. And then we could do, I mean, we could just do a heading across the top that just simply says week 1. And then we just make this fairly big. Once it needs to be like here, so it's more centered though. Just do something like that, and then you have if I just like grab this, and then you just have it like this, it would just go down the line, and you just have week 2 and week 3, basically. Yeah, let's just see one gap. Right. And then this would just be week 2, week 3, and then you probably want your overall as well. So then trouble is I'm gonna see it at that point. So we need to find out everybody's alias. I mean, that's gonna happen no matter what. I mean, to figure out how many weeks we're doing, how many races we're doing per week. Okay, let me see how the overall table would work, because it would be similar but slightly different at the same time. Bring it down in a bit. So there's 2 ways to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get rid of all this. Okay. And then this would change to team. And then you'd have, I know I probably want to make this particular table a lot bigger, just so it's easier to read and stands out. Okay, let's just do this a little easier. Let's make this way bigger. Right? And this would be yes. I don't know if that's right, by the way, but in my mind that's right. Like putting ES for the Spanish teams. I have no idea. Is that size 24? Yeah, Spain is, yeah, that's what I thought. I was thinking I wasn't making it up. Oh no, this needs to be just doing it the same. And then this would be prism. And then only be one prism. Sag. So then there's two ways to do it. You either do it like this. And then this would then say week 1 total. Right? I don't like how close that is. Let's just do like a dash in the middle. Right, and then this would be your... This would then be your week 2 total, and then this... Oh. And this would be week 3 total. So there's two ways to do this. We would do it either like this for the main table, where you could see how many points redline NA on overall too. True. I didn't forget about that. Thank you. Yeah, and this would just be overall. Right, so you either do it like this, where you can see like redline NA how many points they got per race, how many points they got for that week total, and overall, or you would just have it like this, but this would just say and this would just be total or overall, whatever you want to say. And this would be 2 and this would be 3. So either you do it like this, where you can see a bit more in depth how many points they got per race, the total for the week and overall, or you would just do it where you can see per week and overall. First one definitely has more info. It's just the question of, yeah, I mean, the first one probably is better. Let's just change this to the same green. Let's do just like a, okay, no. Right. That's a lot to look at. I mean, these can be a bit smaller. You can make these smaller, so it's not as big, because it's just, the numbers don't need to have that much room. Because you could even just shorten this to just say R1, R2, R3, R4, and then you would just need, right? You could even just shorten it to that, and then you can make this, just make this smaller. But then that might be hard to see. Let's see if I do it for 1. I mean, this is just rough. I'd make them the same size if I was doing it this way. And then this could be shortened to just say, I mean, this could be shortened to that. And you make this a bit bigger to make it obvious that that's like the end of a week. So you can make it more compact like this, as opposed to being big like this. But that might be harder to read. Whereas, yes, this is a lot, but it's very clear what it is. This is pretty small. I actually don't know which one I prefer. I mean, let's just put week 1. That's just easier. I mean, to make this even easier to look at, you could just make this be like a different. We can make this be a different shade. I mean, I'm already using blue though. Let's make this like a green maybe. Right? Just make these like a. So it's obvious that these are the more like standout things to look at. And then overall we could do. I don't know. I'm realizing there's not a lot of colors when you pick Earth. It's just green and blue. I mean, I don't know. Let's just do this the same. I mean, that would be different, but you could do it like that where you just have colors to make it more easy to see what is what. And then if you were doing it like this, where you had same color as team, true, I could do that. If you were having it like this, then having it shorten like this, just to say R1, R2, R3, R4, week 1, that makes this okay to look at. That makes this look too big for no reason now. I think this is better. Like the shortened version, if you just color it differently. And then you could just, I mean, yeah, you could do the colors of the team. That's too dark. Some of this isn't. I feel like that might be too hard to see for some people potentially. Prism. Just do like a yellow. And then obviously depending on how it's going, these colors aren't going to be next to each other necessarily. And let's just do this and that, and then that bit's okay being green there at the end. I don't know if that's better to look at. I feel like that's a bit more. I feel like there's too much going on here. I feel like that's better. Oh. And then you just do this one as something else. I think that's better. Oh, let's just do this then. Check. No, it doesn't shorten it. Never mind. I thought it would shorten it for me. And yeah, instead of saying total, it's pretty obvious that it's total, so it could just say week 2. Right. I think that's better. I think this was too long before. That's bad. Just stopping and say what's up. Can't stay for the stream, but love you, homie. Keep up the grind. You're killing it. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I mean, I ain't doing much RP at the moment, but I'm, you know. This will bring RP, which is good. I mean, it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'll go back and like make these the same length, but I'm just doing this for. Yeah, that's better to look at. It's not as clunky. You could then maybe do the teams here in the colors. That might not necessarily look too bad. See, I don't want to do prism in white, but I can't do that. Just go for like a bright color. No, okay, no. I could just do like a gray, maybe. Maybe a bit darker gray. I actually quite like that. I quite like the teams being in the colors and then everything else being the same. I think that looks quite neat. Okay, let me get rid of this. And then let's something like that. I think that looks good. And then I could just make it bigger so it's even better to see. But then like, I mean, how would they see it? Let me actually, let me put like a border on this first. What color were we using for this? Let's see how that looks. That's almost the same though. I don't know if that works. That's in the same color as this though, so then this would have to change. But then it can't be too dark because then it's... no, I probably have to do something different than green. But then... So then basically this would have a border on it, and I would just do like this. And then I would just go in here between the races, and I would just upload that. And then all the people that who are participating can do is they can go here and go, oh, how are we doing so far this week? And they would see that, and then, oh, that's old. And oh, how's the overall table doing? So then they would be able to access the documents and just bring up this. So they'd be able to bring up the overall table, and then this is like the one I did earlier. But then they'd be able to bring up like their own individual one. Try red colors, more warm. I could do that. Whoa. You can make an in-game table on the phone thing, but it's like super clunky. It doesn't look good. Because I would do like that, but it's very like annoying to move around. Yeah, and it's colorless. Okay, I'll be back in 1 minute, chat. Okay, I'm back. And then in terms of like deciding tracks, I mean, we could just pick them, or or we could randomize them based on what tracks work to put together. I don't know. I'd have to go through and figure out what tracks you could run at the same time without overlapping. I mean, there's a lot, but race crews picking bands. The only issue is that with that is we might not have a lot of options to begin with because um I mean I need to pick tracks that oh I'm gonna stop. Um I need to pick tracks that could be run at the same time without crossing over. That's the only issue with that. So the options might not be big to begin with. For example, so basically the idea that I have, if you split it into two races at the same time, pretty much that means that there can be a circuit and a sprint happening at the same time. I mean, there could be two circuits happening at the same time, but I'm thinking circuit and a sprint. Um, so each week will be two circuits and two sprints. So let's say, so 30, like I said earlier, like 35 people go to a Spirit Valley. Well, it could be circuits. Like 35 people go to Spirit Valley, while 35 people go to like a concrete. And then whatever track you didn't just do, you go do. So if my first race is concrete, my second race after I go get a repair and stuff is Spirit Valley, and vice versa for the other people. And then you do the same with two other tracks. So you do 4 tracks a week, which would probably take like a couple hours, if not like a bit more. So, I mean, I probably need to be in the Spain server and see what tracks they have. But I think it's pretty much the same. Yeah, because like you could have like I don't know, I don't really like the track, but you could have a Jetsam going on while someone does like a like a midnight run, or well not midnight run, but some sort of sprint somewhere. If you want to give points to fast lap, you can't take sprints. Yeah, so I mean I would still do fastest lap, but you only get 2 opportunities of getting it. Or maybe you just do it you could do it as a one-off. So you could have it where there's 2 fastest lap points available per week for the 2 circuits, or you could do it where for the sprints, if you finish 11th, you get a point as well. Like an extra bonus point on a sprint, you can get 1 point per 11th, same as 10th. Well, I don't really like that, actually, now I think of it. I think you just have 2 fastest lap times available. And I think I would just make it 1 point. If I was doing Formula 1 points, I would just make it 1 point. I think. Because I think if you do it any more than that, then I feel like it could just get a bit out of hand. But I mean, I would have to go through and see what sprints can be run. I mean, even for example, like high roller GP, right? You could do high roller GP. You could basically just call it a sprint. I know it's a lap, but it's long enough that it could be considered a sprint, right? Where it's all hills and basically up north. That gives you the whole city to run some sort of circuit. You know, you could do downtown throwdown. You could do concrete. You could do jet sam. You could do Oilers. You could do, you know, there's a lot you could do while this is going on. You could do urban antics. You could, yeah. I mean, same with like, what's another track like that? Sort of Ducket, where it's like city, but it's only like part of the city, so it gives you plenty of options still. Like, yeah, you could have a Ducket going while, I don't know, something over here is going on. What track would even be over here, though? Hmm. Oh, you could actually... Wait, could you? No, I was gonna say downtown throwdown, but you couldn't because it would overlap right here. Yeah, that's why like having teams pick and ban tracks like wouldn't work because the options are already too like minimal. You basically have to have like a hills track going on while a city track's going on. Because sprint tracks just basically go everywhere. But too fair, sprint like Apex is perfect. Hills. You could even have like a final destination going on, or you could have anything like any circuit going on. Isn't this mostly highway? Yeah, you could have a clean lanes going on while an Oilers happens because they're not gonna overlap right here. They will miss each other. And it doesn't go on popular street, it just continues on the highway. So I probably need to go through and write down what sprint and circuits can be run at the same time. As many as I can. And then if it comes to it, it just might be like it's just circuits happening. That's too long a circuit. Oh yeah, director's cut. That's a lot on the west side of the city. Yeah, like you could do a director's cut while like a ducket's going on. They're both circuits. Trouble is, unless it's a short sprint, sprints basically go across the entire city. So, you know, unless your circuit's in like a small area, then the sprint is definitely going to cross with it at some point. Oh, different races on different days. I feel like coordinating that will just be a huge issue. I think it would be a lot easier if it's just like one day a week. It's like this is when the league is taking place, rather than communicating with people like so many races need to go on Tuesday, so many need to go on Wednesday, so many need to go on It just becomes it becomes like a bit much and very hard to coordinate. Whereas if you just tell like Yokai like as many of you as you can be around this day, this time, and that stays the same for the next like so many weeks, then that's easier to control. If it was like, you know, if we were all like on the Spain server, like that was, you know, our server where we played, then sure you could do it different days. But because it's like us going to a different server, it makes it more complicated. And it would just be easier if we just do it like one day a week. Are you hearing somebody? Hello?
Yo.
Oh, yo. Yeah, I know it'll be on Spain. I just mean like in terms of trying to do different races on different days. Like that would be easy to do if Spain was our main server, right? If everybody involved in this was on Spain, and that's where we RP'd and played. But because it's different servers, it just becomes too much to coordinate. Okay, let's get back on the dock. So I like this as a format for the overall table. I think that works well. And then, actually, if I'm having Prism be gray here, let's just have them. Let's just have them be gray here as well. Yokai, Vendetta, and Redline. Let's have the total one be a slightly different shade of blue. I don't hate that. Could do that. Just because it's a more important score that needs to stand out a bit more. I mean, how many is this? 5 to 22, so 17. Because this would probably be bigger. You're probably looking at like... That right hurts my eyes? Yeah. You're probably looking at that, which is like 20 members. At least. I mean, some people are like 25 people, but it depends how many people taking part. Yeah, maybe I could do a more subtle red, because you're right, it is. But I can't do dark red, because that's yokai. That becomes more like a pinky color. I think I just have to do that red. I would do white, but it wouldn't work. So you'd have all the aliases each week, and then I guess overall for these weeks combined, they'd want to see. Like you'd want to see each week how you're doing, and then your overall weeks combined. So we would basically take this again, but it would only be 4. And that row here. Why is this all messed up? And this would just say... This would just be week 1. week 2, week 3, and then this would just be your total. So that way you can see individually how you're doing each week and how each member of your crew is doing each week, essentially. Right? Why is this a different color? But then, I mean, getting that on a picture would be like that. That's a lot to look at. Because it's 20 people too, it makes it pretty hard to look at. Oh no, let's just call it overall. So then they would, so you would need, so this would be league overall table, and then this would be, you'd need one that's a team overall table, right? And then it would base, your team overall table would basically look like that. And then you would just upload it like that. So then they get an individual picture of each week, a picture of the team overall table, which is each week combined and total, and then how they're doing opposed to the other teams, the overall league table. Yeah, so then if I was to take this, I'm just copy and paste this whole thing. And we go to here. Let's delete this. Oh, that actually fits on. Oh, it's because I'm already over. Okay. Okay, let's delete all this. Because that makes it fit all on one thing. That's better. Should there be anything that makes it obvious that... Should I put something that makes it clear that one is redline NA and one is redline yes? Or does that really need to be a thing? Because they're not even going to see it. So then basically if I just go along and delete this, delete all of these, and then copy, and then I just change these into the color of the team, and then take these, move them along like that. Oh. Yeah, not the end one. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, slowly. Yeah, the name will differentiate them. Is that too dark? Yeah, let's change this to be like that. Blue. Same for this red line. Okay, let me quickly save it. Okay. We need to come up with a name. Cross Racing League just... I don't know. If you just say that, you sort of thinking like, what is that? It's like, is it cross country? Is it... Then we delete this. Oh. Not what I wanted to do. How cringe you want it to be? I want it to either be cringe or be funny. I think the name... Like, it has to fit, right? Oh. It has to fit, but I think it would be funny if it, like, stood for something that was... I don't know. That was, like, funny. Perfect. And we go here, and we delete you. Get rid of you. TFT? What does that even stand for? Then yokai, we go like a dark red like that. And that could just be like that. And then delete you. It's team fight tactics from League. Oh my god. See, no, but it has to like... I mean, like the initials of it, like, can be funny or whatever, but it has to... The actual name for it... Like... There has to be like an actual name behind it. I'm not calling... I'm not calling a no-pixel racing tournament on a different server team fight tactics. That's not like gonna be the name of the... like that's not gonna be the name of the league, right? I mean, it probably has to be something league or something league, most likely. Oh my god, updating this info between every race is gonna be pain, is what I'm realizing. Because every race, I'm gonna have to go through and fill the info for every member. Then take, what, 2 pictures, 3 pictures per team, 7 teams, 21 pictures, essentially, of everybody's updated stats and put it in the document. I mean, I'm probably not going to take part, so I can do it while people are racing. Like, I can watch the races and sort out the scores between races, or while a race is ongoing. Okay. I like that. So we got red line, both red lines, both vendettas, both yokai, prism, and then overall. I think it looks good. I quite like this. And then obviously we'll get everybody's alias in. We'll have a separate rules bit, but we need to... I mean, we need to come up with Like if this is even the format that we want to go with first. What is different about this? Oh, it's that green. Okay, let's change this. And then this one needs to be different. We could do that. Something like that. I mean, this screen's a lot to look at, but at least it stands out. Oh, we could actually, that's better. That's better. We'll do that. Or actually, let's maybe swap it because these blue on blue is difficult. Actually, no, is that harder to judge between? Probably is. Do like that. Prison, both yokais, both vendetta. Okay. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what other color I could do for red line. I could do black. Do black for red line? Maybe? Because red line's like red, white, and black. Um, I mean, white wouldn't work. Because then I would have to change the text to black, and then that would be different compared to everything else. Trouble is, there isn't like an in-between red. That one? I think that's more like a brown. It's more brown. Yeah, it's like... That's brown too. It's like peach. I don't know. I mean, we could just do black. Maybe we just do black. Like, I don't know. I'll leave it red and then see what people think for now. You're right though, it is quite a lot to look at. In terms of this though, I guess this is the very basic. No, it's not just you. It's definitely like quite a lot to look at, but just don't know what else I would potentially do. Hey Mokoto, how are you? Mooney, lurking. Uh, I think maybe the next bit is picking tracks that go together. So I like this is, I mean, we need rules, but we need to sit down and have that conversation based on the format that we have. So I can't start doing that really now. I think the next bit that I can really do is start making a list of tracks that will work to go together. I think is the next bit. So, I mean, we could do that in the document as well, to be fair. Yeah, we could, honestly. Oh, no, not that. Yes, my go live button works. Just about, just about. Let's just add a new one on here. Just put it at the end. And we just call it, let's just call it tracks. And then this will be circuit. This will be sprint. I'm not gonna like, I guess we could put it in just some borders for now. Make this bold, just make it a bit bigger. Italic maybe. I don't know why I'm doing this, it won't matter. I want to just put circuits and sprints that go together, so then this will need to be bigger. I'll just write the full name of whatever it is. Okay. So, I mean, it's probably just best to go to A from and down. Okay, Afterglow is basically the entire city, so it would have to be a Polito track or a Grapeseed track or a Sandy track. You could do Blackout. You could do Afterglow and Blackout. I mean, I don't personally like the track Blackout, but it's possible. Because, yeah, this literally goes everywhere. It just gives you this space. So you can do Blackout and Afterglow. Okay. I mean, we can just see options and go from there. Apex. Apex is all hills, so that gives us a lot of circuits we could do. We could do Oilers, we could do Downtown Throwdown, we could do Jet Sam, we could do Director's Cut, we could do BBD Breeze, we could do... I mean, let me look at some more circuits in the city. We could do Double Trouble. Dueling Dragons. You could even do Final Destination. You could do... Okay. Okay, let me just write Apex down. And then let me just... Many city circuits. Because we can do a lot if we do Apex with the sprint. Next sprint... I mean, we could include GPs and essentially call them sprints, to be honest. I've like never done checkup, so I'm gonna skip it because I don't think people will know it. Clean lines. You could do clean lines and Oilers. And unless you're going all the way up north, that's the only real option you have. East side. Oilers. Clean lines. Okay. Devil's Gambit. Huh. That doesn't... See, a lot of the, like... A lot of sprints that people enjoy... Not gonna be able to run, like, any other track at the same time as it. Like, it just leaves you Grapeseed and Polito. I'm gonna have to skip that one, maybe. Even though I love that track. Which one's El Rancho GP? Doesn't this go everywhere? Yeah, basically, yeah. That doesn't really leave you with anything. No, you can't do Breeze because it would cross there. You could have almost done Breeze. That doesn't really work for anything. Flight Risk. I love Flight Risk as well. Well, the trouble is, if doing 4 tracks, like, well, actually, now I think of it, would that necessarily be a bad idea? Because you could have, actually, maybe that would work out better. Because if you had 2 tracks going on at the same time with like 30, 40 people in each, then you would have 80 people going to repair their car and getting stuff in between the races. Whereas if you did like, you ran one race, as soon as it was done, you started the other race, then that gives people like 10, 15 minutes to like go repair their cars and go to the next one while the other race is going on. Right? Like, yeah, 10, 20-minute race that gives the like 30, 40 people who aren't racing 10 to 20 minutes to repair their car, grab food, joints, whatever they need to do, right, and go to the next race. The only concern with that would be them getting in the way of the current race. But they would know what track was going on, so we just told them to be careful and stay out of this area, but it would depend on the track. But yeah, if you had one race starts as soon as the other one finishes, you could do whatever tracks you wanted, and maybe that would be better. And it wouldn't mean that repair shops were dealing with 40 race cars coming in at once, needing a repair. Yeah, damn it, yeah. Now I think of it, that's probably a lot better. Because, yeah, that then just gives us the freedom to run whatever tracks we want, and then we could do track picks and bans at that point. Well, that's a lot still, so maybe we don't do picks and bans, but we could run whatever track we wanted at that point. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, let's just get rid of this. Yeah, that 100% will run smoother, just in terms of other stuff outside the race. So that, yeah, we could run whatever tracks we wanted at that point. I mean, at that point then too, we could just ask on the day what tracks people want to run. You could get Yokai Spain and NA to go in a conversation and decide on one track they want to run that day. You could do the same with Redline, you could do the same with Vendetta, and then Prism pick their own track. And there's your 4 tracks for the day. Every crew picks their own track. And obviously, like, the crews that have like an NA crew and a Spain crew, they just come together and pick one collectively that they want to run. Maybe we just do that. And then whatever whatever track you did the week before, you can't do again. So you just have to pick something new. We could do that. Right, because every week, like, we're gonna be getting together anyway and giving out instructions and stuff. So if you just tell them to go in a quick huddle and come up with a track together that they want to do, then there's your 4 tracks for the week that every crew gets to pick. I think that will work out well. I think that's good. I think we do that. Yeah, I'll bring that up to Bones. So we could end up running like 4 sprints. Which is fine. Like, if people want to pick a certain track, that's whatever. They can do that. But if it's maybe we do keep it to 2 sprints and 2 circuits though. Otherwise, if you're doing like 4 sprints that are like 15 minutes each, that's a lot happening. Wait. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe doing I'm on Forza. Yeah, you're good. You're grinding Forza. Wait, maybe having one track after another wouldn't work because that would take ages. Because because you'd still have it in 2 separate groups racing. So then you'd have both those groups doing the 4 same tracks. No, that might take longer though. Wait. That might take longer. Because if we're splitting up into 2 groups and you had each of those groups doing the 4 same tracks one after another, would that take too long? I mean, you could do it where you get like everybody there at once. And then as soon as the first race finishes, like the second set of people do the same track and just go. And then they can go and get repairs and then... I don't know. Yeah, maybe we talk about that with Bones. I'll see what he wants to do. Because that might take too long as some, potentially. But not really if you're going and getting repairs in between each one. What is going on outside? I'm gonna try and speak to... I mean, I'll probably go to the Spain server later and speak to Bones. If not, then... I mean, yeah, it'd be easier if we talk about it in character and have a meeting in character instead of me just emailing him things. I mean, if we could get everybody there who's running it, just have a group conversation, because it'll be easier to talk about it than it will to constantly message each other. I should probably like email everybody that we'd like try have a meeting later today if people are around. Okay. What else needs to be thought of? The track conversation can be discussed. If we don't like the format, then I can change it and we can do something else. I'm thinking Formula 1. Yeah, it's 7 p.m. in Spain, yeah. He's only around, I don't know, I just... Formula 1 points, 3 weeks, 4 tracks. We can discuss if we do it one after another or whatever, we can talk about that. And then based on the format and what we decide, we then can work on the leaflets and get in contact with people in the Spain server, like any I guess graphic designers or something who want to do that, and we can make them. So that way we have another thing going on in character with the league. What else needs to be thought of? Don't know, I guess I just need to speak to people in Vendetta from here. Yeah, exactly. I think the leaflets will add add some more in character elements, which want as much of it to be in character as possible. That's why I want to do the pictures on a document on your phone. I mean, you're still looking at a picture on your monitor, but at least it's on a document in character in game that you can then share with your crew. Because we'll just share a document like this. So for example, I would just share this with Tony, and then Tony can just share it with other. Share it permanently, and you just put the state ID in, and then he can just share it with other Redline members, and then they can do the same, and so everybody gets it. You're not just relying on one person to add you to it, and then we just have one for Redline Spain, Yokai, Yokai Spain, Vendetta, Vendetta Spain, Prism. I guess one other thing to think about is how many people race per week, and that will just come down to essentially whoever on the day has the minimum amount of people. If every crew has at least 11 people, you do 11. If every crew only has like 7 people, you do 7. If every crew has like 20 people, you do 20. It's just whatever, how many people are there on the day, I think is best. Okay, let me get out of this suit. Alright, I think that was good. I think we got a lot of ideas. We got most of it down. I can speak with it. Go through it with Bones and other people. Why can't I type today? Oh, I guess another thing is a name. You need to come up with a name other than Cross League. I mean, I can throw some ideas out when I'm talking to Bones. But I think Kitty wanted IRL, International Racing League. I like that actually. IRL, International Racing League. Yeah, that's good. Plus it fits the, like, colors I've gone for. With, like, earth colors. Oh, Intonation? Intonation Racing League. Oh, you just... okay. Well, don't do the same. Don't do both at the same time. Either race on Forza or type in Charlie. Yeah, International Racing League IRL. I like that. That's good. So then I would just IRL. Oh, I didn't save it? Oh, it did. Well, let me refresh my phone. Yeah, IRL. Malo, I mean, Malo's not on the server as much, so, like I said, I would be up for doing this, along with Ghosted and Bones and another guy from the Spain server. Well, I don't know who, like, that person is in character. And then, like, Kitty's, like, overseeing it all, too. Let me change it on... International. IRL. There we go. Perfect. I don't think anybody's even around. Might just call it that, to be honest, because it's only an hour till Storm anyway, and I'm probably going to go to the Spain server and Speak with Bones later. Yeah, I think I will just call it there for the stream for today. I'll have a meeting with Bones. Maybe people's what's that squeaking noise? Maybe if some people go to the Spain server later, I'll stream. But I think I might just call it there. I appreciate you guys hanging out and being with me for the makings of stuff. I mean, it's not fully done. It's probably going to take a little while. What was the copium about? Me streaming? Okay, don't mind. Yeah, I'll speak with Bones and more the format, see what we get going, and then potentially start up soon-ish. I mean, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, to be fair, so we'll see. Probably at least a couple weeks, I would imagine, if we're trying to get like stuff done in character and stuff like that. But we'll see how it goes. Why are you asking if you already know? Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't know. I appreciate everybody hanging out, though. I'm gonna call it, make some dinner, and then probably go to the Spain server and speak with Bones. See how things go. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, so well, at least that's the beginnings of it, I guess. Yeah, I appreciate you all. Is Irish and Cora still alive? I'll probably just send you over to them. I know that I don't OOC they're doing BBMC stuff. Are they still live? Let me see. Yeah, OOC they're doing BBMC stuff. In character, they're just sus as fuck. that's pretty much how it is at the moment. At least in Cade's eyes. Alright. Are they both live? Because I raid Irish in the past, so maybe I'll raid Star, because the past couple times we went live I raided Irish. Alright, thank you so much again. Thank you. I appreciate everybody being here. More streams, not copium, okay? Okay, don't mind. Okay. I swear. Send some love to Star for me. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.